welcome to Scott's Inverts. I'm Scott. Behind me are the inverts. In today's episode, we are looking at the Nhandu tripepii, the Brazilian blonde tarantula. This species is just absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, let's get into today's video. Our spider comes all the way from Brazil. Now, most of Brazil has high annual average temperatures above 22 degrees, a little bit higher in the south, and humidity levels are up there around 60 to 70%. This is what we need to be doing in our enclosure as well. So while we have some clips of Brazil just playing in the background, let me tell you that this spider was described first in 1984 by Dresco, and it was put into the Europalma genus. Then it went to the Haplopilus, then it went to the Vitilius, and then eventually Bertini in 2001 put her into the Nhandu genus, and she was last described by Gabriel and Longhorn in 2011 as a Nhandu tripepii. Just a little bit of extra information there. Now, going back to Brazil, it does experience high rainfall, so we need to be looking at our spider and kind of thinking how we can increase humidity in our enclosure, and it's pretty easy done with the use of a water dish and a little bit of watering. So up on screen is my sub-adult male. The difference with the female is slightly shorter legs and a larger abdomen. Now these spiders have a growth rate of fast medium species, and the adult females will reach an average size of around 7 inches after around 10 years or so, and they can mature at around 5 to 6 years of age. The males, they can grow up to about 5 to 5.5 inches, and they become mature around the 2 year to 3 year mark, and they can live, the females, up to 20 years, where the males around 5 to 6 years. We're looking for their life expectancy. Now these can be like a semi-defensive species, but this Brazilian blonde you can see up on screen has given me threat poses, has flicked a lot of hair as well, has been a very naughty boy. These guys are a New World species, so their main line of defence is to flick those hairs all around the place at you and all over the enclosure. With it being an Nhandu, do expect these guys to give you a threat pose from time to time and have some absolutely epic takedowns. Now, when these are born and you get your spiderling as a very small nymph, remember to keep that substrate nice and moist. Keep it in a vial, and as it grows a little bit bigger, give it a little bit extra room up its enclosure. Give it room to burrow if it wants to. Include that water dish. All important is a water dish with all our captive spiders. I mean, I will show you my setup that we do towards the end of this video. Very basic, very standard setup, very easy to look after spider. Absolutely gorgeous species. Relatively cheap in the UK. If you're not in the UK, please let me know down in those comments kind of how much you pay around the world. I'd be really interested to find out. These are a shaggy type blonde with those rose tinted hairs. Absolutely gorgeous. These tarantulas kind of have got that Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of feel about them. They do get big and bulky at around the 7-inch mark. They're very easy to care for, very hardy species, and a superb display tarantula. Mine does stay out and about for long periods of time. Doesn't care whether there's a light around or if it's dark. He tends to be out and about majority of the time. So if you want one of those spiders that comes out and displays itself a lot, this is probably the one that you're looking for. But like I said, when you're doing rehouses, feeds, water changes, maintenance, be prepared to be a little bit itchy afterwards, because the hairs on this guy can really make you itch. Now we're just going to come up and show you the setup. So this is a setup, a Baroplast tub. Yeah, we've gone for, it's around 12 inches by about 10 by about 8 deep. From where my finger is now, that is where he's just molted. Water dish, nice and big to help keep those humidity levels up. And a third of this I actually keep nice and damp. So a third of that substrate is damp. Where the other side to the left of my hand, where I'm just pointing now, I just spray that down maybe once a week, just to give that humidity a little boost every now and again. But it's so standard, really easy to set up. A little bit of moss down there as well to keep that substrate nice and damp, so hopefully to increase humidity over long periods of time. Now, I do keep mine around 22, 23 degrees, and I find this spider absolutely loves it. And again, that humidity around 70 to 80%. Don't get worried if your enclosure is a little bit drier than that. These are a very hardy species, literally bulletproof. But just look at the carapace on him. The carapace is stunning. The hairs on the legs and the abdomen are also beautiful. I mean, what a spider. Absolutely beautiful. Boom! So what an absolutely stunning species. An absolute must for anybody's collection. Yeah, they do flick hairs every now and again, and they can be a little bit temperamental, but they are an absolute stunning spider. If you've got one at home, be interested to know if yours burrows. I've never seen mine burrow. He has never been below ground in the slightest, always quite content, hiding underneath that cork bark and being quite a happy dude inside there. So it would be interesting to find out if anybody else has got one of these that's actually burrowed down and kind of seeing how far down that species has actually got into the substrate as well. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to support the channel, drop me a like, drop me a comment, drop me a share. If you want to go a step further, hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Channel members do get 15% off over at Spar Spiders. Anyway, enough of me. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, we shall see you again on the next one.